All right, good morning, bowlers and bowling fans. This is Dan Castle, and I am here at Ryan's in Millis, Massachusetts. We're on Candlepin Chat today rather than the ACST page because somebody's got a video going there. So we'll repost this to Candlepin Bowling Network, and it'll also be in my live page. So bowlers are warming up right now, but we have a fun match for you today. This is the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, Class C Division in the South. And Kevin Brown, his first year in the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, is hosting Nate Wheeler. And so far this year, these guys have equivalent averages down to the second decimal point of 102 each. So it should be a fun match. They're warming up right now for another few seconds, and then we'll be underway. So, oh, hi. I didn't know you were there. Sorry. Kind of odd. So as soon as they're done warming up, we'll have the bowlers say hello, introduce them, and then we'll be underway. So welcome. Glad to see everybody here. Are you guys ready to roll? All right, go up and shake hands. We are on right now. And so our bowlers today, the home bowler on your left is Kevin Brown, first year in the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. He's been bowling very well in his leagues and promises to be a tough competitor. Nate Wheeler, I believe it's his fourth year in the ACST this year. And he's come up a long ways over the last few years and is doing quite well. He bowls out of Timber in Abington, and Kevin bowls here. So without further ado, we're ready to go. And I believe that Nate's going first as a visiting bowler. We're going to start here on lane 22. And I will look this up on Facebook, on my phone.
Hold on, Nate.
Oh, we got to start the lanes. So I'm going to be tracking head pins and splits and such. I'm running solo today, so no partner with me, but we'll do what we can do. And Nate starts us off with the first ball of the match. And a little wide to the right, just takes out the 10 pin. So our format today, as those of you who watch ACST regularly know, is a 5-string game match. Each string counts for 2 points toward their standings for the playoffs at the end of the season. And Nate puts up a nice spare on that one. He made up for that single pin pick and drops a spare in the first. So that was his first ball. That would have been a strike. So 5 strings. We're going to do 5 boxes at a time, starting on lane 22 and alternating to lane 21. So as soon as Nate's bowled 5, Kevin will come up and bowl 5, and then we'll switch lanes. Nate on the fill. Nice ball. Nice head pin hit. But he gets a split, so 8 and a fill, and he starts with 18. And he's looking at the 410, I believe. See if that wood'll help him. And doesn't do anything, just plows right on through into the pit. So Nate will be open to box 2, but a good start. Never let that bad first ball throw you off. You got to get back into it right away. And Nate tries to send a 10 off the wall to the 4, but ends up with a 9 box for 27 through 2. So not a bad start for Nate. 7 pins over par. And both bowlers with a 102 average. So we'll see how this goes. It could be tight. Nate on the 2 pin takes out 8 and leaves the 110. And I'm going to move to watch it on my phone at the same time so I can catch your announcements. He's going for the 110 split, just misses a head pin, not by much. So they're still standing. And I'm going to share this to my page. And Nate with a 9 box for 36 through 3. No head pin on that one. And feel free to post your comments. I want to hear from the viewers. Nate with a nice 8 drop, not on a head pin. He's left with a 7-8. 3 pieces of wood down there. We'll see if those can help, because I think they might. And I thought he hit that really well, but it didn't take those 2 pins out, so still 2 left. And Kevin, I'm on Candlepin Chat, not on ACST. So if you go to Candlepin Chat, you can share it to your home, to your page. See, Nate picks up one of those for a 9 box, 45 through 4. Yeah, so just go to Candlepin chat and you'll find the live thing, and then you hit a share down here and put it wherever you want it. So easy to do. I shared it to my page as well, so my friends who aren't familiar with Candlepin can watch. Nate on his 5th box threw that one to the 6 and took out just the 610. So let's see if he can do what he did in the first box and make a big spare. Just scroll down a little bit. All right, and then hit share. Oh, he almost does it again. But he'll be open in the 5th. Still don't see any comments from our viewers. I do see we have about 26 people on right now, so that's a 10 bucks, and Nate closes out with a 55 half. Not too bad. Now our home bowler is coming up in his Candlepin Bowling Network debut. He's never been videoed before, but he has put up a couple of matches. This is week 3 for these guys, but their second match. So they skipped round, both of them skipped round 2, I believe. At least Nate did. But this is week 3, so here comes Kevin. I've been watching Kevin over the last few years, bowling in leagues, on a Friday night mixed league here, and then he went into the Wednesday speed league once a month. And he's really picked it up quite a bit over the last couple of years. He's really dedicated to getting good at the game. And his brother and his son, his brother's son, and his first ball is on the 4-pin, takes out 3. Just left with a double line there. 4 horsemen right plus the 2, 5, 8, 9. On the 2-pin, almost gets it. Well, could that go? It's thinking about it. There it goes. Spare for Brown in the first. And he matched Nate's mark in the first. And it just asked me if I want to end the live feed, and I do not. Though I really would like some more viewers. But a lot of times that shows up on the... There we go. Nico, hello. Oh, you did share it on the ACST page. Thank you. Because I saw Paul was just starting one. So I was trying to get in ahead of Paul, but he got me that time. On the fill for Brown. And that'll be a 5 fill. 15 in the first box. How's the sound quality there, Nico? I see I have 13 people watching right now. I can't see who you all are, so... A spare in a second for Brown. 2 in a row. Daryl Goodwin, my dear old friend. Hope you're doing well. Glad to see you watching here. Say hello if you can. Kevin Brown at 25 through 2. And this is a fill, and he puts 5 on it, so that puts him at 30 through 2, and he's got an early lead in the match. Again, each game counts for 2 points toward standings, with total pinfall counting for 4. So 14 points given away, split up however they work out, and Brown just about spares the Caleri, but the 7-pin stayed up. So an open box in box 3. And good, I'm glad to see we are operating well today. And that's a 9 box. First pennies left on the deck, 39 through 3. And it's a close one, 39 to 36 through 3 completed boxes. I expect this one to be pretty close all the way through unless somebody has a breakout. Brown in the 4th box. And that's his first head pin hit. Gets a dot for that. So when Micah checks this, there's a head pin. And just the 3-6 with wood in between them. Makeable spare. Brown's on it, and he picks up his 3rd spare of the first half. 49 in a ball in the 4th. Beautifully done. He's showing very good form today with a great backswing and a good follow-through on his release. And here he is on a fill in the 5th. Nice head pin hit, 7 in the fill, and just a diamond, or not a diamond, I'm sorry, a triangle on the left. So with 7, he's at 56. He's ahead so far. And another spare opportunity, though triangles can be tricky. And that one he went wide of, so he'll be open in box 5 with only 3 marks in the first half, and I mean only sarcastically. And that will be a $9. So first half of the first game is completed, and as we stand right now, Kevin Brown leads 65-55 in the first 5 boxes. He had 3 marks to Nate's 1. Nate got split bit though. He had a couple of good headpin hits that ended up in splits. So let's see if we can fix that. And again, first ball got away from him. He dropped that one and went to the channel on the right. It's like his first ball in the match. We saw him spare that after he picked up the 10 only. That's a better ball. When he crossed in front of the head pin, now he still has 7 pins up. And that's a 3 box. Not what he wanted to see. So 58 through 6. Sorry, my phone's ringing. Junk phone calls, as I usually get. And we're coming into box 6 of game 1 for Nate Wheeler, hoping to make up for the 3 box he threw in box 6. That's a better ball.
Nice ball.
He was right in the pocket on that one. Did not deserve a split, and that's a 5-10 split. Wood to the left of the 5. I don't know if it's going to help or not. He's trying it, and a good idea to cap that wood, but no margin for error. I think a ½ inch to the right, he might have capped it and taken a spare, but not to be. 5-10. And he gets the 5 for a respectable 9 box, 67 through 7. And I hope to hear from some of you guys. Good to see you, Joe LeBlanc. And a 6-pin hit and just 2 pins out. Have a little trouble going to the right now. Got a bunch to shoot at. Got it in there that time, just missed a head pin, so still 5 standing. And a 4 horseman plus a 10-pin left for a 10. He's on, it just missed a head pin. I thought he had it. 8 box, 75 through 8. Needs a spare to catch up to par again. 2 boxes left in game 1 for Nate. Nice ball on the head pin, a little full. Leaves a spread eagle minus a 10. So he did get to the head pin on that one, but has a 3 and 2 split. It's a tough one to make. Wood behind everything. Going to the left and misses everything. Ball's coming back. All right, and Kevin Brown will pick up the ball for Nate. His very Halloween appropriate orange and black balls. And he's trying to pick up something here, and he gets the wood, and that's a 5 box. Not really what he wanted to see for 80 through 9. Not bowling terribly, but he's had 2 pretty rough boxes there. So he wants to close out strong. But he's put Kevin in the driver's seat so far. And there we go. Bounces it down and gets a nice 9 drop.
Nice ball.
Just the 6 pin left, I think. I don't think that's a 3. It might be the 3. Hard to judge without other pins down there. Single pin spare attempt and just misses left. Not by much. So he'll be opening in the 10th. Just 1 spare for this game. And 4 splits up there. Okay, that will be a 9-box for an 89 string. So, not the start he wanted. And Kevin needs 24 pins and 5 boxes to tie, 25 to win. But that's just the first of 5 strings, and we see these go back and forth a lot. But Kevin wants to not only win the string, but pile up pins for total. So let's see what he can do. And now Kevin's over on lane 21, ready to start box 6. And a nice hit in the left pocket, leaving a diamond. So 6 down, and the 3, 5, 6, 9 left with no wood. And off to the left. Still has another ball to shoot. And there's a 9 for him. All but one went down. 74 through 6 for Kevin Brown. Box 7, game 1. And Brown off the head pin leaves the 1, 2, 4, and 10 split. Not technically a split because the head pin stands. That's okay, we'll take that. Make a little spare. If you can carry that something over to the 10. And he does. Beautifully shot by Brown. Spare in the 7th. He's 5 or more on the fill. He's 6 or more on the fill. He's got this string with 3 more boxes to go. Nice fill ball, and that's a strike. It's as good of a fill as you can get on that. So Brown puts 10 on it with a head pin hit, and he's at 94. He's won the string, and 104 plus 2 ball fill. So excellent start by Brown. That one goes wide, punches out the half Worcester plus a few. So 5 on the first ball. 1, 2, 7, 6, and 10 are left. Hey, Ray and Kevin, or Kendrick, I'm sorry. Okay, gets one more, so 6 in the fill. And that puts him at 110 in the 8th box. It's a tremendous start for Kevin. So far, 5 marks in this game. Still has 4 left up there to complete the box. And you'll just get one for a 7-box, 117 through 9. One more box to go in game 1. Brown's putting on a bowling clinic right now for us. He misses a head pin that time, but look at this. He's just the 1 pin and there's 10 pin left with wood that could be a guide for him. Needs a spare for 130. Oh, send it over, but just in front of the 10 pin, so he's open in the 10th. That's okay. He's won the first string by a good amount. Putting Nate in a position of having to do some catch-up here for total. And Brown with that 9-box closes game 1 at 126, so he takes the first 2 points, 126 to 89. And that's a 37-pin lead to start the match. Nate Wheeler coming up. Going to try to do some catch-up here. Nate's very capable of throwing big games, too. I've seen it a lot of times. So
Here we go, Nate. I know you got it.
It's very early. Nate bowls out of Timber Lanes in Abington. Kevin bowls here in Ryan's. And little trouble with dropping the ball on the release, so a bit of a slam there. And just like in the first string, he took out the 10 on the first ball, but in the first string he spared this. He's in there that time, just off the head pin, leaves the 4 horsemen left, so no mark in the first. And it's a 9. So 9 box for Wheeler, starting game 2. Just left the head pin. Under Greg Gouillard's proposed rules, if you leave the head pin, you'll lose 2 pins. But that's not the official rules of Candlepin, so we'll count that as a 9, not an 8. First ball on the head pin that time. Definitely found a head pin and left the diamond. So 6 down, and the 3, 5, 6, and 9 still up. The wood behind the back 2. He's in there, and can you believe it? He just took out the center. The diamond is very unforgiving. So easy to just punch it through or take one side. So he was on it, but it didn't go for him. And that will be an 8 box. So 17 through 2. That was box 2 of game 2. We're coming into box 3 of game 2. What a beautiful fall day here in New England. And here we go. Okay, not bad. He came in on the 2 pin. Got a nice 7 drop out of that. Leaves a 1-3-9. Put that on a 1-3 pocket. That goes. Oh, just off. I thought he had that from this angle. It looked like he was going to catch a head pin, but he caught the 9 pin only. So the 1 and 3 still standing for a 10 box. And he'll have to settle for an 8 on that. It went wide to the right. So 25 through 3. Hey, Ashley. Okay, so we saw the first round. Nate had an 89, and Kevin put up a 126. Nate trying to come back from that, and that's a head pin hit. But what do you know? Another split for Nate. So a little tough one. He's got to play that front wood a little on the shallow side. It's the 3-6-4 split. Maybe take the 3 off the wall to the left, see if that works. He's on it just right. Tries to take the 6 off the wall, but it doesn't come back. So nice try by Nate, but he didn't get the spare. So the 4 pin's still standing. Mike Kent, hello. And a nice 10 box off the wood for Nate for 35 through 4. Still looking for his first mark in this string. Started with a mark in the last string. But he's coming in box 5. Plenty of opportunities left in this string. In the pocket and drops a bomb. There you go, Nate. There's no doubter on that one. Beautiful strike. Head pin hit, and he sits down at 45. Looking forward to a 2-ball fill coming up in box 6. Now Kevin Brown comes up. See if he can sustain the pace he set in the first string where he threw a 126 with 5 marks, including a strike. Hit a couple of low fills, 2 5 fills, but other than that, not too bad. So great start for Kevin, and Nate, that was an excellent 5th box. It was as good as it gets. Here comes Kevin. Just off the head pin. Didn't get a lot of action on that one. Took out the 2-5-9, and he's left with 4 horsemen plus a triangle. And just picks out the 8 pin, so 6 pins still standing for Kevin. Oh, caught the inside of that. Played it risky, and it paid off. It was a 9 box. Quarter inch to the left, and he would have missed everything, but he played that well. So 9-9 is start box 1 for these guys. And Kevin Brown into box 2 of game 2. And that was on the 3 pin. So 4 horsemen left, plus the 8 and a 9. So a Caleri plus an 8 pin. Just misses a head pin, gets everything but the head pin. Nice hit by Kevin, but still a pin standing. He's gone ahead in completed boxes right now by 1 pin, trying to make it 2. And he does. 10 boxes at 19 through 2. After 2 boxes, Nate was at 17. Went 8 and 10 after that, and then dropped a huge strike. So Kevin started off the match with a 37-pin lead in total. And that's a nice strike ball that Kevin threw, just a 4-pin survive. Nine down, just 1 pin standing, no wood to help. And he's right on that single pin for a spare in the third for Kevin Brown. 29 and a ball. On the fill, here comes Kevin. On the head pin in the right pocket. And that's going to be an 8 drop. Maybe 9. Nope, 7's going to stay up, so 8 in the fill. Another head pin hit. And that's a split. So with 8 in the fill, he's at 37. Just catches a 7 pin, so no spare in the fourth. That strikes really big for Nate right now. Kevin still has 1 pin. That puts him at 46 into that 9 box. 46 through 4. He's ahead of Nate in completed boxes right now, but Nate's got a 2-ball fill to go, so he could add a lot of pins to his 5-box total. And box 5, Brown in the pocket nicely. Looked like a strike to me, but the 10 pin somehow stayed up. Just got tapped by one of the pins. Not enough to push it over. So another 9 drop with the 10 pin only and a piece of wood on the left of it. Don't know that that's going to be too helpful. Doesn't matter. Brown is right on the pin, so he matches Nate's strike with a spare of his own in the 5th, and he's at 56 through 5 plus a fill, and Nate's at 44 plus a 2-ball fill. So Nate Wheeler comes up on lane 21 to start the second half of game 2. And he's looking to have a big fill on the strike he put up in box 5. So here's his first fill ball. And he came in on the 3-6 pocket, but took 6 out. Not bad. 1, 2, 7, 9. Possible spare here. Got to be on the head pin. Actually, it's a 5 so far. There's a pin hiding there I couldn't see. And what about 8? 8 in a fill, not bad. He closes out the first half with 53. So he's over par on that half. And he's got the 7 and 8 going. Is he going to take 1 pin or try to sweep the wood? He's going for this safe bet and taking a 9 box. 62 through 6. He's back over par. All right, let's hear from you, gang. I know there's some people watching, so we'd love to hear comments from you. Let me know you're awake. I know that I don't yell a lot. And Nate Wheeler in the pocket and drops another strike. Second strike of the string. 2 pin last to go. That was big. Dave Peterson, wish you were here. We have a pin out, so we need somebody to run down there and take care of that. I'm not a runner these days.
Mike?
Yeah, you're allowed to go down there.
All right, never mind. I got it.
Trying to make Nardone work. Kevin's down there before Nardone gets here. Yeah. That's all right.
Yeah.
He got down there before you got here.
Yeah. I was like, hey, the only thing is, if you're going to go down there, like just hit GW so it doesn't.
Yeah, it just gave you a double strike, so we got to erase that.
What happens. Normally I don't go down. Yeah, no, I know. But if you do.
Ryan, is that today at 3? If it's a 3, I don't mind doing it. Justin wants me to cover his matches too, so I'm good for that. So there you go. Got rid of the score. So
Hopefully that was a premonition, Nate. Yeah.
Well, now you got to put the X back up there. So the machine gave Nate a double strike. So he's going to try to make the scoreboard right by putting an X up there. He's in there. Not a bad try. 8 in the first ball.
Shot. Nice ball.
On the head pin, a little mini split with a 310. Ryan, is that 3 o'clock today? Talking to Ryan Prouse here in the comments. Oh, just 8 for the fill. He just missed the object pin, so see if I picked that up. It did not, so the score is wrong up there. He's at 80 through 7. Okay, Ryan, I'll be there. No problem. So we need a score correction up there. It messed up, so you can just blank out the second. It's supposed to be an 8 fill on 2 balls, but it didn't count the first ball. So just blank out the second ball. Just give him a 0 for second. That's the same difference. There you go. That's the same difference, so it works. All right, Ryan, I will be there. We'll see you here. And that's an 8 box for Wheeler. 88 through 8. 2 more to go for him. He's definitely going to be ahead of his last game, a disappointing 89. And we know Nate can do a lot better than that. So this is his chance with 2 strikes in this game so far. Just off the head pin, and look at that nice 9 drop. Could he get a backdoor strike? Nope, not going to happen this time, but not bad. Nice 9 drop. So our little chat, we just agreed that we will have another match here at 3 p.m., a doubleheader. And we'll watch Ryan Prouse bowl against Duncan McDougall and Justin Waters bowling against Danny Finn. Should be a good time. 4 great bowlers. And Wheeler with a 10 box, he's a 98 through 9. I just ran out of iced coffee. I wish I had my machine here. But there's water. All right, Nate coming into box 10 of game 2, still looking to gain some advantage on Kevin. And just off the head pin. That looked like a strike ball all day long, but it just went to the right, so a 4-3 split. Sort of. 4 horsemen plus a triangle in the right. And just off the head pin. That looked pretty good. So 6 down. He's over 100. And he's over his average right now. Will that be enough? Kevin's been on an onslaught so far. And a 6 box, so 104 to close game 2 for Wheeler. And 193 for 2. All right, Kevin's coming up on lane 21. He's on a fill, and he's a 56 plus a ball, so he does have the lead so far in this match, in this game. And in the match, actually. And on the fill, held on to that one a little too long and got a little bit of a break, but that's only 4 in the fill. So 60 to close out the first half of game 2 for Kevin. And now he has a 4 horseman plus the 2-5 for a spare attempt. Little full on the head pin, punches through the middle. So still 4 standing. Hey Jake, good to see you. His 3rd ball, and he adds 2 to his score. So at the 6th box, he is at 68, box 6 of game 2. Nate Wheeler was at 62 at box 6. Now Nate put up a strike 8 in the 7th, so that's what Kevin's up against. And he puts up a strike of his own, matching Jake's, or not Jake's, I'm sorry, Nate's. So matching strikes in the 7th. What a comeback by Kevin on that one. So he's a 78 and a 2-ball fill. He's really coming through when he needs to here. on the first fill. Oh, almost a double. But somehow the 2 pins stayed up, so 9 on the first. And that's a spare. So just like he did in box 7 and 8 of the first game, he put up a 20 box in the 7th and a mark in the 8th. So in the game 1 he went spare strike. In game 2 he's gone strike spare. Now on that fill, what about 7? All right, that puts him at 105 through 8, 88 through 7. And he's already won the string now. And no spare there. Nice try. Nate put up a 104 in game 2, so Kevin has won this one. Giving him 4 points so far. And that's a 9 box. There's a sneaky 9 pin in the background I couldn't see. 114 through 9. He put up a 126 in game 1. Kevin has definitely found his game. And that's a head pin hit and a spread eagle minus a 3 pin. Puts him over 120 again. Well, not quite. He needs one more pin. I'm sorry. Three pins left. And he'll take an 8 box for a 122. So Kevin Brown, his first year in ACST, and this is his first televised match. He had one prior match. He put up a 126 and a 122. Putting on a great showing. This is Class C. And he's won game 2. And has a 248 total for 2 games. That's averaging 124 so far. Kevin will be in Class A next year. He keeps doing this. All right, Wheeler coming into the middle game here. Trying to get some points. And his first ball, that time it's in the middle, and too much middle. First 2 boxes he went wide right. First 2 games he went wide right on his first ball. Now he's got a spread eagle plus a 9 pin. Sometimes that can be made.
Nice ball.
Okay, just to the right. Still 4 standing. Give him a head pin split on that one. And a 7 box. So Nate Wheeler was 7 in the first box of game 3. He's working hard up there. All right, we're coming into box 2, game 3. Nate Wheeler at 7. Dropped that one a little early and went to the right, took out 4. The 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, 9 are still standing. And a nice spare bid on that, but left the 4. Very nice attempt. And that'll be a 9 box, 16 through 2. So in game 2, Nate put up 2 marks, both strikes. It was on the head pin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. 2 of those were splits. Brown put up 4 marks, one of which was a strike, and was on the head pin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. And had a couple of splits in that mix. Wheeler with a head pin hit there and just a 10 pin standing. See if that wood is going to help him, or it might be in the way. I don't know. I think go straight at the pin. It's probably his best option here. Regardless where it settles. Wood settled, so now he can throw. Went to the left, trying to kick it over. A little too far. And there it is. It was definitely there. 26 through 3 with that 10 box. Wheeler in box 4, game 3. Just out of the pocket. 4 horsemen left. 1, 2, 4, 7. When he gets that in the pocket, you get some powerful drops. Both of his strikes were no doubters. Shooting for the 4 horsemen, just gets the back 2, so the 1-2 still standing. And for the 10, and he gets it. Nice 10 box by Nate Wheeler, 36 through 4. That was the ball he wanted for his second. And he's joking about third ball being better than the second, which is true for a lot of us. Okay, box 5, game 3. This is the midpoint of the game for him, of the match. And that one's in there. Maybe a tad full, I don't know, but he's left with a 4-7-10 split. Wood by the 4-7, that could be helpful. It's a little bit out there, I don't know. But something to work with. On the red line, and just took out the 4. Well, did about what he could do on that. So 7-10 split left, and he's open through 5. And that's an 8 box, so Wheeler sits down with 44 at the half. And through 2 games, Brown has a 55-pin lead, so he's hoping to expand on that here if he can. And his first ball is coming up. Kevin Brown put up a 126 and a 122 for the first 2 strings. Nate Wheeler was at 89 and 104. And starting game 3, here's Kevin Brown. Just off the head pin, leaves a 4 horseman right. 1, 3, 6, 10. He's in there, and he gets a spare. Nicely done. 4 horsemen spare. Put the ball in a 1-3, just like out of the textbook, and gets a spare in the first. Brown on the fill. Off the head pin again, but puts just 3 in it, but that gives him a lead. So he's got a big cluster on the left and a 10 pin on the right. And goes through the hole. And he knew it as soon as he let go of the ball. So trying to clean this box up. And he does nicely with an 8 box for 21 through 3, or 2, I'm sorry. Box 3, up 5 pins in a string over Nate so far. All right, head pin hit, and that's a 4-7-9-10 split. Interesting wood down there. Let's see if it helps him. I think the left wood is helpful, but it might deflect around the 7. See if you can get something to go to the right too. Take out the 9-10. I think it's makeable. It's going to the left on the red line. That 9 gets tapped, but it doesn't go. So nice try by Kevin. But it's an open box with a 9-10 still standing. Wood by the 9. Goodbye, 10 box, 31 through 3. So he's up 5 pins still in the completed boxes. Throws a pin down there into the other lane. Well, if it jams up, Kevin, it will be your fault. All right. Box 4 coming up. Nate didn't have any marks in his first half of this string, so Kevin's in the driver's seat right now. But he puts that on the 6, and look at this backdoor action. Took out the whole backside and leaves a 1, 2, 3, 5 diamond. So can't complain about that with that ball on the 6 pin. Just to the right of the diamond. Very difficult shot, actually. It looks like it's really easy. And 10 pin, that'd be an easy shot. And Candlepin, well, it goes sometimes. So sometimes it doesn't take much to miss it. So open box in the 4th. And he'll settle for a 9 box for 40 through 4. So he's up 4 pins now in completed boxes. He's up against an 8. And here he is in a 5th box. Off on the 2 pin, gets some late action, so now he's got the 1, 6, 7, 9. All spread out there. Wood landing over by the 7. Might make it a bigger target for the head pin if he decides to deflect the head pin over. And he goes to the left side of the head pin, deflects the ball over, and the pins do not take out the 6 and the 9. So an open box at the midpoint of the match, of this game and the match. And Kevin's got a 9 box, so it's 49 to 44 halfway through game 3 in favor of Kevin Brown. And he has a 55 pin lead after 2 games in total. So that adds 5 more, so that's 60 pins right at the moment. All right, we're coming into the second half of the match, starting with box 6 of game 3. Nate Wheeler coming up. What's wrong? You got 1 and 2 over there. Are those yours?
No.
All right, looking for a shoe cover here. And it's found in the chairs for lane 22. All right, Wheeler coming up to ball, starting box 6 of game 3. Playing from behind. First ball just to the left of the head pin, but that's a nice 9 drop, almost a backdoor strike. So we'll take that, the head pin with just a piece of wood behind it. Gives him a little guide to the left. And he's got it, so sparing his 6 for Nate Wheeler. Wants to keep doing that. And coming into box 7, here is Nate on the fill. 54 plus this ball. It's in there. A little too much. 5 in a fill, head pin split, and that puts him at 59. Oh, playing the inside, just caught the 2. 2 and 2 left. And a 6 box, just missed 65 through 7. So now we're coming into box 8 of game 3. Nate Wheeler's at 65 through 7. Just off the head pin again, but He's got the 10 to go. He's got just one to shoot at, so another good opportunity here for another spare. He's just got the head pin. Pick that up in the 6 box. And he's all over it again, so spare in this 8 for Nate, 75 and a ball. So 2 marks in his string so far. He's hoping to force Brown to have a mark or two in the second half. So here he goes on the fill. Just off the head pin, but gets a break. 8 and a fill. 83 through 8. And he's got the 6-10 left for another spare. Wood angled in the right direction. He's going to use it and gets another spare. There you go, Nate. That's what you needed. 3 out of 4 marks so far in the second half of game 3. With decent fills. He's at 93 plus a ball. So on a fill for the 9th box, just to the left of the, right to the head pin, takes out 6. And that'll put Nate at 99 in box 9, all 9s. 1, 2, 4, and 10 is up there for the spare attempt. He's in there, wraps around the 10, no spare. Excellent shot, but the head pin kicked over, but it didn't take out the 10, went in front of it. And that'll be a 9. So Nate Wheeler with a 108 string. And that puts Nate right at 301. 301 through 3. All right, so to get to 108, Kevin's going to need a mark or two here. First 2 games are 126 and 122, but he's at 49 at the halfway point here. So definitely needs at least 1 spare, probably 2, depending on the fills and the other boxes. So box 6, game 3, Kevin Brown. Gets a big break there, hits the 2-pin and leaves everything but the head pin. And he's got wood out in front of it. I don't know if that's good or not. I think it is, but I think we may need to check. It's up to him if he wants to call for it. So wait a minute. And Jaheim Riley is going to go down and take a look. So those of you who aren't familiar with Candlepin, which I'm sure we'll have quite a few on the recordings watching this, there is a line down there in front of the pins called the deadwood line. If a downed pin is behind that line, it is good to be played off from. But if any part of it is in this direction of the line, in front of the line, then it's not good. Jaheim's taking a look, and it is good. That means it's behind the line. Usually we can tell if it's in the light. Hold on, Kevin. Wait for the scoring to... Okay, we're all set to go. So that wood's good. It may not be good wood, but at least it's legal to play for. And Kevin didn't want to chance it. He's probably right, because that'll probably deflect the ball. So no mark in this box for him. And he gets it off the wall. What do you know? Didn't expect that to happen. So he did hit that wood. It came back and took out the head pin. So it would have been the way to go for the spare, but they are knotted up at 59 at 6 boxes. 2 more marks for Wheeler, though, coming up. Brown on the head pin. And that's what we call the Castle right. 5, 6, 10. Always 2 pieces of wood with that leave, and it's a really tough one to make. He's got to think about this, how the wood comes into play, whether he uses the left or the right. Hope something comes off the wall. And he's going to the extreme left, try to spin it. It's a good idea. If you can helicopter that wood, sometimes it'll take everything out, but you also have to just tap it. So we'll see what he does. Most bowlers will go to the right and take the 9. That's what he's doing. And he will take a 9. For 68 through 7. He's still up 3 pins in completed boxes against Wheeler. But Wheeler had a spare 8 and a spare 6 in the 8th and 9th. So Kevin will need to mark here. He needs 40 pins and 3 boxes to tie. Good ball. Just the 4-8 left, no wood. All over the head pin on that one. And he misses left. You've got to hit those. He'll try again for the 10. And then he'll be playing from behind for the first time. It's a 9. 77. Giving Nate Wheeler a 6-pin advantage in completed boxes and another spare 6 ahead. So Kevin needs 30 pins to win in 2 boxes. That's pretty much strikes. He needs a strike somewhere here, I think. 4 horsemen left, +1, I think. Nope, it's all 4 are down. All 6 are down, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 4, 7. Not a lot of wood to help, just in the background. Oh, come on. He left the 4-pin at the 1, 2, and the 7, but somehow the 4 stayed up, so no mark in the 9th. And that's a 9 box. Brown at 86 through 9. It's down 13 pins. Needs a double strike here. Needs to pick up 22 pins to win, to tie. So that will give Nate the game. Just 4 are down. Needs a spare to get 100. Right, we'll give you totals in a minute as soon as he finishes his box. He's got 5 left. Can't get to 100 on this game. But he can put up an 8 box, and that 8 box gives him 94. All right, game 3 in the books. And that goes 108 to 94 to Nate Wheeler. But Kevin Brown still leads in total. 342 to 301. So Nate's picked up some ground on total, but he's still down 41 pins. And Brown leads 4 points to 2. And now we're going to game 4. Wheeler hoping to pick up some more ground here. 42 is a good lead, but Nate throws a good game. That can go away. As you'll recall, Kevin won by 37 in the first game alone. So Nate Wheeler coming up. Game 4 on lane 22. And it got very quiet here before he threw that ball, and that was a nice head pin hit and left a back triangle. Came in on a 1-3 pocket, but he's got the 5, 8, 9. There's wood over by the 5 and 9 that is a little flat, but we'll see. Catches it, gets a spare. Spare in the first for Wheeler. Nicely done. So he's off to a good start on game 4 with a mark in the first. Mark it up. Okay, Wheeler on a fill box 2, game 5. In the left pocket, nice 8 fill. 18 through 1, and that's a 5-6 split. Interestingly enough, there's video online of me actually making this spare once that Micah happened to be filming at the time. I'm proud of that shot. I don't think it'll happen again. Nate tries to do the same thing and kicks the 5 over, but a little back toward the back. So parallel pins is almost impossible to make. And that's why I consider mine that time a once in a lifetime more than likely. Nate with a 927 through 2. Good start. So he's coming into box 3, 7 pins over par. And Nate on the 3 pin, but some of the pins just collapse out, and
Good break.
that's not bad. He's got the head pin and a triangle in the back, and there's wood over there. A well-placed ball could take this. And that was just a little far to the left, not by far much. I think he needed to come in on that little gap between the head pin and that flat piece of wood. I think that would have done it. But there's not much room for error there. He's got the 178 left. And he'll take all 3 of them in a really nice shot there. 37 through 3. That was a really nice 10. Was not a gimme by any stretch. So Wheeler continues. 7 pins over the par of 30. Nice ball in a 1-3 pocket on the Brooklyn side. Leaves the 5, 6, 8, or 9, 10. So that's a tough one. It's a triangle plus a 5. And he picks out just a 9, leaving a castle right. Without any wood. Takes a 9, 46 through 4. All right, coming into the 5th box of game 4. Nate Wheeler at 46 through 4. It's a 4-2 game match in points. And after 3 games, Brown with a 41 pin lead on total. Box 5, Wheeler on the head pin, drops his 3rd strike of the game, of the match. When he gets one, it's loud. And he got one there. Just like the 2nd game, he sits down on a strike. And that was a solid strike for Wheeler. That puts him at 56 plus a 2-ball fill, possible 70-something here, if it was a big fill. With another spare, probably. No, he needed a double to do that. I'm sorry. Let me do my math in my head. All right, so Brown coming up, leading the match. First ball in there for a nice solid hit and a spare leave. Just a 6-10, favorable wood. Oh, he goes wide to the right. Just clips the 10. He knew it as soon as that ball went out of his hand. And that would have worked. So he'll take a 10 box. 10s are good. Gives Wheeler an early lead in this game. All right, Brown in box 2 of game 5, and that one he held on a bit long and went wide. But look at this. Gets 7 down, leaves the 179. That's a toughie. A couple ways you could play this. You could try to go to the right of the head pin and kick that over to the 7. Hope something comes off. He goes way right. Gets the 9 only, so there's a 1-7 left for a 10. And takes a 9. His last game, he's at 19 through 2. He only had 1 mark. So the prior 2 games he had 4 and 5. And only 3 head pin hits, 2 of which were splits. Wheeler, on the other hand, put up 3 marks and 1, 2, 4 head pin hits, 3 of which were splits. So not a lot of head pin hits from these guys in this last game, but there we go. Gets a break. And that's a head pin trip from behind. I probably should have been marking that before, which I wasn't. Sorry, guys. But he's got the 6-10 for the spare. Gets it. Spare in the 3rd for Brown. That's right. I see you guys put up another code here for head pin trip from behind. Oh, spare leave's not a split though, so I'll take that away. Never mind. So those of you who aren't looking at my score sheet, we're trying to simplify our reporting of head pin splits, etc. And so we've developed a coding system that they put on the new score sheets to help announcers and bowlers keep track of those. It's interesting statistics. 5 in the fill. And he's 4 horsemen plus 7 and does not get the spare, so 34 through 3 and an open box in the 4th. So he's a couple pins down. And that's an 8 box, 42. So 42 to 46 in 4 boxes of game 5. And now he's up against Wheeler's strike. Wants to match that with a mark of some kind. Well, there's only 2 kinds, really. Ball's in there, just off the head pin. Breaks up the split, and it's the 1, 2, 4, all in the line. Okay, there's wood to the right of the head pin that could act as a bit of a guide if he goes just slightly right. Oh, he gets everything but the 2 pin. Nice try. So he'll be open in the 5th, and that'll give Wheeler the lead in this match halfway through the game. And a single pin stays up, so a 9 box, 51 for Kevin Brown. Nate Wheeler's at 56, plus this 2-ball fill coming up on a strike he dropped. Big bomb in the 5th. So Wheeler's chipping away at the lead. See how his second half of game 4 goes. It's anybody's game. The 6-box fills are tough for some of us. At least for me. See how Nate does with it. First ball. He's in there. Just off the head pin. Drops 6 on his first. Leaves a 4 horseman right. 1, 3, 6, and 10. So good start to that fill. And he went a little light on the head pin. Took down 2 more. So 8 in the fill. Closes the first half with a 64, so a 13-pin lead at the halfway point of game 4 for Wheeler. And he'll take an 8, so 8 fill, 8 box, 72 at 6. All right, coming into box 7, after putting up a 18 and it's 8. 72, well over par. Box 7, game 4. And that's the first one we've seen today of a half Worcester. Just the 3 and the 9 went that time. Playing the inside. Good bid. Can you get that 4 pin to go? No, it does not go, but that was a great effort. So the 4-10 survived. See if we can get a 10 here. And that'll be a 9. Nothing wrong with that. 81 through 7. A lot of us like to play the inside on a half Worcester. It's a little risky, but when it goes big. Box 8. Wheeler with 11 pins over the par. Light hit on a head pin. Interesting leave. So it's a head pin, and that's definitely a split. That's 2, 5, 8, and 10. No wood at all. Gonna make a great shot here to get this one. Oh, I thought he was going to catch the 2, but he didn't. So they're still up there. Wants to get better than a 6 in this box. And he'll take an 8 box. 89 through 8. Best game so far. Put up an 89 his first, a 104, and a 108 in games 2 and 3. So running over his average except for game 1. Kevin is way over his average. All right, first ball of box 9. Looked like a good head pin, but he missed, and he's left with the 110. It's nice when it goes. It's in there. Does not get it to go. Catches the wood a little too much. Didn't take any pins out. So 8 are down, 2 are still up. You have to wait till the 10th box to get to over 100. And an 8 box, 97. One more to go for Nate in game 4. And 97 through 9. Trying to put up a big string here. Looking for another mark. His strike ball's been amazing when it hits. It's got 3 strikes so far in the match. And here we go, box 10. Just to the right of the head pin, comes in on a 3 and leaves 1, 2, 4, 8, and 10. So 4 and 1. Wood over there in the middle and beside the 4 pin. Still has to hit the head pin. Just misses. So open in the 10th. And has 3 pins far apart. The 1, 8, and the 10 still left to try to get a 10 box. And he'll make it an 8 for a 105 game. Another game over his average of 102. 406 through 4. And Brown playing from behind. But he's got an opportunity here because there was no marks by Nate in the second half there. But he's at 51 through 5, so he's going to need 54 to tie 55 to win. He needs 1 mark. Hey, Elena. And starting box 6, Brown just catches a head pin on the left. And he's left with this 3, 5, 10. Little mini split down there. I think it's makeable. And once again, the ball got away from him, but he took out the 5 and the 10, so got something for it. And that'll be a 9 box. So Kevin is at 60 through 6, right on par. Down 12 pins and completed boxes. So he needs 46 pins in the next 4 boxes to win this string. That's 1 mark. And some good pinning. Oh, and that looked like that was going to be the mark. That was a nice ball right in the pocket. And all the horses went down, but the king is still standing. The 5 pin alone. He just misses to the right, not by much. That would have been a big spare if he could get it, but looking for a 10 now. And there it is, always easier on the 3rd ball. Don't know why that is, but I think almost every bowler finds that to be the case. So he's at 70 through 7, down 11 pins in completed boxes. And he needs 36 pins and 3 to do it. 1 mark. All right, some late action. That makes that into a tougher lead than it was, but it's a 179. Wood in between. If you can make the spare, it'll be a big step in getting this string. And looking for that 9 pin to go. It does not go. Nice try. Means one of the last 2 boxes has to be a mark. Hi, Chris Jones. Good to see you, buddy. And there's a 10 box. So he's pinning out well. He's only left 1 pin so far in this half. But he's at 80, down 9 pins and completed. And he still needs 25 pins to tie 26 to win. And not what he wanted. Half Worcester left plus a couple. So the 4-2 split. 4 horsemen on the right, the 4-7 on the left. Oh, he gets the 4 horsemen to go, but nothing touched the 4-7, so he will have to mark in the 10th box. Hey, thank you, Maurice. I miss you, buddy. Love to be on the mic with you again. And that's a 9. Kevin is at 89 through 9, so that puts him down 8 pins. Needs a spare 6 to tie, a spare 7 to win. And there's a strike right on time for Kevin. Talk about clutch bowling here. I almost said wow, but this is the no wow zone. First ball and a fill is 6. That ties up the game. No, it doesn't. He's down 1 pin still. He needs 2 pins to win. 1 to tie, 2 to win. No, it ties it. He's 1 to win. And that's what he gets. Exactly 1 pin, so a 7 fill. 106 to 105. Kevin Brown takes Matt game 4 in a nail biter, right down to the last ball. Class C. And that was a fun game. Both bowlers did a great job, but Brown squeaks out a win by 1 pin, so it is now 6 points to 2 in favor of Brown. And in total, 448 to 406. Brown with a 42 pin lead in total. So last game coming up, and Wheeler needs a big win to take total here, and he knows that. He doesn't have to listen to me to know that. And this is when he can turn it on. So we're coming into game 5. Nate Wheeler coming up as a visiting bowler and starting on lane 22. Here's his first ball. Just off the head pin on the 3. 5 are down. He's left with a 1, 2, 7, 9, 10. You see this goes sometimes. It's fun when it does. And he put it through the hole. See, it's useful for that, isn't it? I use it like that all the time.
I have one, but I try not to use it. I'm supposed to, but
I don't sometimes. Sometimes I walk. This morning I wasn't that much. Talking about the cane I use that helps me walk. Kevin was using it as a tool to grab something, and Nate Wheeler starts with a 7 box. Hoping next year I can bowl again. We will see how the next 11 months goes medically. Of course, then the next question is when I come back, and when can I be good again? So we'll see. Take it a step at a time, and thanks for all the support from everybody out there. You're a lot of good friends in the bowling community, and I really appreciate you a lot. It's like a second family to me. Wheeler with a split off that nice head pin hit. He tries to split the 4 or the 6-10. Can't get anything to go over the 4 pin, so another open box. And that's a 9. So these guys are 2 great guys. I've known both of them for quite a while, and fun guys to bowl with and against. And it's a very friendly match. I've bowled Nate a few times in ACST. We've gone back and forth. I beat him, he's beat me. And he starts out with a 5 drop. 1, 2, 4, 8, 9. With a 3 pin hit. And so we already worked this out, but apparently I will be back at 3 o'clock with a doubleheader match. So stay tuned. That will be Justin Waters versus Danny Finn, and Ryan Prowse versus Duncan McDougall. And then I believe tomorrow I'm going to be back again for newcomer to ACST Nick Blundo versus Danny Corbett. 8 box for Wheeler, 24 through 3. So I'm going to forego cleaning the house this afternoon. Didn't want to do that anyway. And come down here and watch some more bowling with some top bowlers. Hope you all join me then. Wheeler, box 4, game 5. He's at 24 through 3. And he buries that one in the pocket. Does not get a strike on it. Has a 4-7-10 split. Nice hit. Four, 7-10, no wood. Just to the middle. So that one went to the ocean, didn't catch any fish. Looking for a 9 or 10 here. He's in there and gets a 9 and kicked that 4-pin over beautifully. But it didn't catch the 10, but that's how you split that, and that puts him at 33 through 4. It's too bad it didn't catch it. It's got to be perfect on that angle. Coming into box 5, Nate's open through 4 with 33 at the 4th. And that's where he stood in the last game. He was actually at 46. And then he put up a big strike 8, but not a strike this time. 6-pin mess down there. And just punches out through the middle, so open all the way here with a 2-2 split left. He's going to need a big second half here. And not bad. That's a nice 9 box. He kicked one over to the 7. So 42 through 5. He's put up some good efforts here. Just not getting the breaks. And 2 head pins, 2 splits. And here comes Kevin Brown trying to close out with a possible 12-2 victory if he wins this string. All right, Brown's just making sure he's got something to grip with. Oh, no, buffering up his shoe a little bit. Make sure he's got a good slide. So, thanks everybody for joining here today. This has been a fun match to watch. And here comes Kevin Brown to start his last game of this match. And I see a lot of good things coming from this bowler. This is his first time being broadcast. And he's put on a good show for us. Ball 1, game 5. In the pocket, but gets a split. Is it going to kick any more over? No, it won't. That's a 2-4-6. But not all together. Look at that wood, though. Maybe that'll help. Went a little too far. He needed to touch that 2-pin, too. So open in box 1, and just the 2-6 left. And he's got the 2 for a 9 box. Brown starts out early with a 2-pin lead on the first box. Box 2, game 5. And a 1-3 pocket. Nice. He's got a check mark plus a 9. So not a split. Make a believe. 3, 5, 6, 9, 10. No wood. Big bale of hay down there. Puts it where he wants to, but a little bit full, so he leaves a 5 and dime. Chris Merrill, nice to see you here. Thanks for joining us. We have a great Class C match going on here between Nate Wheeler and Kevin Brown. We're in the 5th game. And Kevin puts up an 8. 17 through 2. So just a 1-pin advantage in completed boxes, 2 boxes in. Brown right in the pocket. Nice hit, but the 2-7 are up. I'll call that a mini split. See if he can make this. It's wood over where the 5-pin should be, more or less, or the head pin. He touches the wood. Does he get the 7-2? Does not get that luck. And know that's not where he wanted to put it, but got a little bit of a break. But open in the third. And he'll take a 9 for 26 through 3. Still 2 pins in this game. Hit the head pin every time so far. Now we're coming into box 4 of game 5. And on the 2 pin, so no head pin that time, 4 horsemen right plus the 7-8. Some wood over where the 5 pin would be. And then wood in front of the 7. Don't think it enters into the game. Misses a head pin, gets everything but the head pin. So another open box. He's got a slight lead over Nate in completed boxes. And he makes a 10 out of that for a 36 through 4. 3-pin advantage in the completed boxes so far in game 5 for Kevin Brown. Last box of the first half of this last game. We have firsts and lasts all over the place here. Here he goes. Buried that one for a strike from the Brooklyn side. Nice strike by Kevin, right on time. And that puts him at 46 plus a 2-ball fill. And here comes Nate to finish out his part of the match. He's at 42 through 5. Hasn't had a mark yet in this string. Looking to get a couple here. Total is a long ways away, but got to try to win the string first. See what he can do. As many marks as you can get, but that's always the name of the game, isn't it? Here he goes. First ball, box 6. In the pocket. Will that 7 go? It's wiggling. 7 stays up. Nice hit. Double wood in front of it. One's way out there. Just going for the front wood, and that deflects the ball away from the pin. So no spare in the 6th. Still has a 7-pin with a plank in front of it. And that appeared to be good. So a 10 box, 52 through 6. Not thrilled about that box, but at least we know he's got a great first ball on that one, and see if he can keep doing that. He'll get some good marks here. That one's in there. Oh, just off to the left. Crossed in front of the head pin. So still has 7 pins up. Puts it right where he wanted to in the 1-3 pocket. Leaves a 5 and a 7. It's about as good of an attempt as you can make on that leave. And he'll take an 8 box for 60 through 7. Hi, Cody. You're joining us in the 5th game of this 5-string match. 8 wheelers is 60. Kevin Brown's at 46 and a 2-ball. Phil at the half. All right, there's a good break. That's what we call the Millis 8. Go off to the 2 or the 3, and you end up with an 8 drop, the 1-2 or the 1-3 as it is in this case. He's just off, just picks off the 3-pin. After 4 games, Kevin Brown leads 6 points to 2 with a 448 to 406 lead on total. And we are in the second half of game 5, which I did not include in those numbers. And that's a 10 box, 70 through 8. All right, so Nate's pinning is really good, but he's got 2 boxes. Really wants to put a couple of smudges in those boxes. Get some something to work with here. So not box 9. Last 2 boxes of the match for Nate. Nice head pin hit. Some late drops.
Hit it.
And there goes the 10 pin for a strike for Nate Wheeler. And we don't even have to show it in slow motion because you couldn't miss that one. And I don't recall if that was a head pin hit or not.
At Harvard would have never happened.
Was that a head pin hit? I don't think so.
Nate, was that head pin?
I think he came in on the 2. I don't know, but a strike's a strike. So if I miss a head pin, it's not the end of the world, but Nate would be really mad at me if I didn't mark down a strike. So making sure the system counted it because the delay of game clock kept the scoring system from catching that one. But we caught it. So 80 and 2 balls for Nate. Phil in the 10th and final box of this mat game for Nate. First ball. Come on, give him a double. Not quite. 8 in the first, Phil, and wiggly 6-9 pins. Good opportunity for a spare on strike. And he's got it. Spare on strike for Wheeler. It's a good way to finish here with a 90 through 9 and 100 plus this ball. It's a good way to finish. And here we go. On the fill for Wheeler. And how about 6? 106 for Nate Wheeler to finish his 5th string. And that puts him at 512 for his total. All right, Kevin Brown coming in to finish off the match. And Kevin is at 46 and a 2-ball fill. He sat down on a strike. I think he's got total in the bag pretty well here, but we need to see who wins this string. So Kevin, first ball on the strike. And that's a nice 7 drop. So head pin hit, mini split. And he has a 3-9-10 to contend with here for the second ball. Everything but the 9 pin, so a 9 fill, and he closes the first half with a 55. So that takes him 13 over Nate through the half. And that's a 10, so 65 through 6. And at this point, he does not need to... Does he need a mark? Yes, he needs 1 mark. Still. Best he can do is a 105 without a mark, and that would lose the game by 1 pin. So on the 3 pin with the Cleary left. 1, 2, 4, 7, and 9. And Kevin will, just like in the last string, is going to need a mark to win this one. Just clips the head pins, so no mark on box 7.
Thank you, sir.
And that's a 6 box. That hurts. 71 through 7. And that strike spare combination by Nate is looming large right now. So Kevin needs 37 pins to win this. 36 pins. Sorry, 36 pins. Well, here's an opportunity, and is it going to go? No, it's just a 9 drop, but a nice 9 drop at that. Just a 3 pin, lots of wood in front of it. This could be his opportunity to do it. And he swings wide to the left, so Kevin is open in box 8. Had a great spare opportunity there, but it didn't go. And that's a 10. 81 through 8, and now he's up against the 20 box. Must mark. Spare 5 to win somewhere, spare 6 if he's all 10s otherwise. All right, so off the head pin, 178, a lot of wood in there. That might make it more makeable for him. Brown gets a spare, nicely done. Missed to the left of the head pin, but some wood came back and took it. He still has to do well here. He needs a good fill and another good box. No room for 3 boxes here. Okay, he puts only 3 in the fill. He's going to need another mark. It's at 94. He needs a spare 2 to win, a spare 3 to win, spare 2 to tie. And he does not mark, so Nate Wheeler will get game 5. Unless this pin goes. Not quite enough. So no spare in the 10th for Kevin. Gets the 10, 104. So that finishes the scores. Nate Wheeler takes game 5, 106 to 104, and another nail biter. But as far as total goes, that goes to Kevin Brown, 552 to 512, a nice 40-pin victory. So to recap, game 1 went to Kevin Brown, 126 to 89. He also took game 2, 122 to 104. Game 3 went to Nate Wheeler, 108 to 94. Kevin Brown came back at a 1-pin victory, 106 to 105 in game 4, but lost game 5, 106 to 104. So 2 tight ones in the last 2. Final score, 552 Kevin Brown, 512 Nate Wheeler, and a 10-4 victory for Brown. First time being live streamed, and he put on a pretty good show for us, and Nate Wheeler didn't do too bad either with several big strikes here. So thank you for joining us. This is Dan Castle here at Ryan's Family Amusements in Millis, Massachusetts with the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, and we will see you all on the lanes.
Thank you, Dan.
All right. Good show, guys.